Learn auto body and paint. Anyone can do it. Hey, welcome back. In the last segment, I basically showed you how to find all of the dents on your project by using the reflection, sanding everything down, taking off our emblems, spot welding, pulling out dents, mixing body fillers, and applying body filler, okay? Basically shaping, using 80 grit sandpaper to shape, 150 grit to shape, doing all the hardcore body work, showing you how to use the DA properly, and getting started with primers. In this series here, we're going to cover all of the priming techniques as well as painting all the trim pieces, so keep watching.
Do you want proven steps to take your car, bike, or project from average to amazing? Since 2010, Learn Auto Body VIP has helped thousands transform projects, open up shops, and build side hustles from home. Subscribe now, hit the bell, and get free training at LearnAutoBodyAndPaint.com. And don't forget to join our Discord community.
So we got the whole truck sanded down, ready for paint. I'm doing the door jambs using 400 grit wet sand. You can add the maroon pad in between to give you some cushion there. But as you can see, everything is sanded down, looking ready for primer. So what am I doing here? My dad taught me this trick when I was a kid. You basically punch a couple of holes in this lid area where the cap closes. So after you pour, it basically just seeps back into the can when you put your lid on. So we're using some Shopline filler primer here, mixing it up. This is a 4-to-1 primer, and I like to add about 8%, maybe sometimes 10%, because I'm spraying it out of my 1.4 tip on the Atom X20 spray gun. And you know, when you're mixing it up here, you want it to look a little sticky and not too diluted. So 4-to-1 up to 10% reducer. Usually filler primers, you want to use a 1.8, maybe even a 2.0 tip size. But if you're using the 1.3 or 1.4, you reduce it a little, 10% like I just said, and you can spray it. You're just gonna have to add a couple extra coats. So instead of doing like 2 heavy coats, you might want to do 3 to 4, sometimes a extra heavy coat, just so you know you're covered, you got all your body work filled up, because this is the stage where you're basically filling in all those sand scratches, even if it's up to 80 grit, which allows you to just let it dry down, and then you just cut it with 320 dry sand and then 400 wet sand, and you're pretty much ready for paint. So all we're doing here is covering all of our body worked areas. Again, I'm using the Atom X20 with the gun butt light on there. You can see how the light helps so much. If you don't have one, I highly suggest you check it out on Amazon or eBay. You can pick these gun butt lights up. Right here, you can see the different substrates. And because the bodywork prior was so bad, when they repainted this truck, they didn't really sand, and the clear coat was chipping off in some areas. And I just didn't want to go all the way down and sand off all the clear coat and get down to pretty much almost metal on this project, because this is a work truck. I just wanted to put like a 7 out of 10 paint job on it. So you can see here that 2K filler primer hides a multitude of sins. Okay, if you have something that looks like this, prime the hell out of it. So right here, I'm using 320 grit to just cut all of our filler primer down. Once this is all cut down, I'm gonna wash it down with 400 grit wet, and you're pretty much ready for paint or ready for sealer. And that's pretty much it. So this is probably like a day or 2 after I primed, sanding everything down, getting the surface nice and flat. You can see what I'm doing here, hitting the pad every so often to just whack some of that dust off. Okay, that's very important because it unclogs your paper and allows you to keep sanding and keep cutting. So every once in a while, when you notice that maybe it's not cutting as much, you just give it a couple taps, you know, while it's on, dust that cake off, you know, the cake primer that's on your pad there, and then just keep sanding. This paper will go a much longer way by doing this. Things can look like this, where you have a lot of scratches, but when you sand it out flat, it comes out really nice, like in here. Remember we had that issue with the door, all gone. So laying a lot of filler primer on, you know, body worked areas where you need work is a good idea. You know, just don't be afraid, keep laying it on. I must have put like 5 coats of filler primer on some of these spots here just to fill everything. All right, so keep watching, because before we actually paint the truck, I'm gonna go ahead and bang out all the trim pieces, all of our mirrors, fender flares, all that type of stuff, black and green base coat, just like we're doing on this Honda project. I'm gonna be painting all the trim before I actually paint the car. So you can do it either way. You can do all the trim pieces before you paint the full car or after. So let's get into all that cool stuff right now. Oh, and one more thing. If you wanna master auto body and paint and completely dominate, even though you have no idea what you're doing.
Hey, my name is Tony and I grew up learning auto body from my father. I painted my first motorcycle at 13 and my first car at 15. With over 30 years of experience, I founded Learn Auto Body and Paint in 2009 to help DIYers like you master auto body from your home garage. Today, Learn Auto Body VIP is trusted by schools and help tens of thousands transform their rides, open up shops, and create new income streams. And now it's your turn.
All right, so keep note, all of our trim pieces were wet sanded down with 400 grit, just removing some of the rubber trim. Our raw plastic was quickly hit with 400 grit, washed everything down, wax and grease removed everything. And now I'm tack ragging all of our plastic raw pieces here. And then we're gonna use some Bulldog adhesion promoter, give everything a coat of adhesion promoter. You don't wanna go too thick with this, just give it a light mist. You know, make sure you hit all the plastics. These are raw plastic handles here. Some trim pieces on the inside are fender flares. Okay, I did a little bit of body work on them, some glaze there if you can see. Now here we're using a 1K sealer by Nason Select Seal. Very easy, you just mix it, strain it, and spray it. Pretty good stuff, I like it. We're gonna go ahead and spray all of these plastic parts with a coat of sealer. And then after that, we're gonna lay a couple coats of base coat and clear coat. And on these mirrors, I did do a two-tone scheme to it because I wanted the part that connected to the truck by the window area. I wanted that black, so I did something cool. I wasn't able to find the footage for that, but in Learn Auto Body VIP, we have tons of other videos showing you how to do two-tone, three-tone, how to paint with candies, flakes, and pearls, and so much more. So here we're going over with the sealer, giving it about two good coats, you know, making sure we have good coverage. All right, we're using the gun bud lighting system, so it helps us see what we're doing. You can see how it works. Works really, really well. Also, if you guys join VIP, I'm giving away free gun buds. So check that special offer out by clicking the links down below in the description. If you want to get a free gun bud, they sell for about 60 bucks on Amazon and eBay. Best seller, over 15,000 units sold. One of the greatest spray gun lights, and works really, really well. So you can see that we're just sealing everything up here, getting it everything one color, and then we're gonna go ahead and do our base coat, clear coat. In case you're wondering, I'm using about 24 PSI here to spray our sealer. So here we got our eruption green. It's a Ford color, mixed 1-to-1 with reducer. Okay, looking really good. Now we're gonna give everything a couple of coats of green base coat. And you know, doing mirrors are a little tricky, so you can kind of see how I'm dusting inside to get in those little hard to reach areas there. All right, you want to take your time. You don't want to go too heavy on your first coat. You know, just give it a nice spray there, put some color on it, because you can always go back on the second coat and third coat if needed. And the main goal of base coat is to make sure you just get good coverage. Okay, it's not going to be drying shiny. Okay, you could lay it on a little glossy like this, but it does dry matte, and if it looks matte, that's fine. Sometimes you're going to notice a little orange peel in the beginning, but once it dries and levels out, it normally comes out really nice and flat. You know, you want a nice flat finish when doing base coat. See, I'm kind of, you know, going on different angles here because you got to hit around all these little pieces, right? On the sides, you want to make sure you're just basically getting everything. Okay, inside, you know, if you want to narrow your fan pattern down a little bit so you can get inside, but these weren't that bad. Some body kits, you got to narrow your fan pattern down to maybe like a 25% width to get into those hard reach areas. And just be sure to turn down your pressure a little bit. I'm actually spraying at about 23, 24 PSI at this point. Again, I have, other videos that cover spray gun settings and all that, but basically how I have this gun set up is full open fluid flow, because you could adjust your fluid with your trigger. And then my fan pattern, you can see I got a little dog hair in here. I kind of tried to just take that out quick. And then what I did was I just let that dry, and then you could just mist it later. So yeah, what you just, don't freak out if you get a little hair in it or a dust or a bug. Just take your time, do what you got to do, because you can always pull it out. At the base coat stage is your most flexible stage, because if you mess it up, you can just let it dry and then sand it out. Lightly scuff it out with like a 400 to 600 grit, and then just rebase those areas. Super easy. So when spraying in these crevices like that, you want to make sure you're not laying it on too heavy, right? Because the last thing you want is like a run in there. So just mist it on. As I said, the main goal is to get coverage. So this is our second coat of base coat. You can see that the color is really starting to come out now. Right? You're going to go a little bit heavier on your second coat. Take your time. Make sure you get all sides, because the last thing you want also is to be ready for clear coat or not even notice it during clear coat, and that you missed, a side and you got some gray sealer or primer showing, you know what I mean? So after this, what we're going to do is I'm going to let these green parts dry, put them away on the side, and I'm going to hit our black trim pieces as well as our mirrors. So what I did was I used some fine line tape to just create kind of like a mirror cap look on these mirrors, because I wanted the part, as I said before, that goes by the door to be black. And you'll see it when I'm done, when I peel off the paint. So now we got just our black base coat. We're doing our black base coat on the black trim pieces here. And then once this is dry, I bring back all of our green pieces, and then we're ready for clear coat. So here are mirrors. You can see they're taped up, okay? And I'm hitting it black now because I wanted that outer, that like a ring around the mirror, like a black ring. You could you'll see it once I peel the tape off. And then the main thing was that this part that I'm painting right there that goes by the door, and the whole bottom. I wanted the whole bottom black as well. So check it out. So now I'm peeling, and when you peel off tape like this, sometimes you're gonna see lines in the base coat, like a tape line. Don't worry about that, because when you clear coat it, it all disappears. Okay, so you do not want to use wax and grease remover on your base coat. Okay, so all we're gonna do here is tack it down once everything is dry, and put 2 nice heavy coats of clear coat on it. You can see I'm peeling off that fine line tape there to get that edge. See how that looks. I'm using the Atom X20 low volume, low pressure spray gun. You can spray with a high volume, low pressure, or low volume, low pressure. My recommendation is, if you have a smaller compressor setup, use a low volume, low pressure. If you have a regular size compressor, to paint cars, high volume, low pressure is fine. You can use either gun to do base coat and clear coat. On this whole job here, I use the Atom X20 on everything: sealer, base coat, and clear coat. You can see how the gun bud lights everything up as well. We're putting 2 nice heavy coats of clear coat on this, spraying at about 26-27 psi trigger pulled. Okay, laying it on nicely. And yeah, make sure you get all of your edges and hidden areas. The last thing you want is dry spots in your clear coat, right? Just take your time and just keep an eye. And this is why the gun bud helps, because it helps you see everything that you're doing. You can see in where the lights are, in between the grill area. And it just helps you get all those dry spots if you have any. Okay, that's the main thing. Take your time and just make sure it's laying on nice and glossy. Sometimes it's gonna look like it has a little orange peel. That's fine, because your clear coat needs 15 minutes to flow out and level out. So it's normal to have like a little texture to it while you're spraying. Give it a little bit and then it flows out. Unless you're using crappy clear coat, you'll just have an orange peel or improper mixture, or if it's too cold out, you know, different reasons. And again, we cover all of these types of things in Learn Auto Body VIP.
I just shot these pieces in the garage last night and they came out freaking amazing. So I ended up doing like a two-tone style paint job on these mirrors because I wanted to, you know, kind of like update it and make it look cool. And they came out all right. You know, we're doing like a quick paint job here, a 7 out of 10. We're not going to go that crazy. It's a Ruz, my work truck, really ugly, crappy truck, but we're going to turn it into something really cool. Here are the fender flares that we did gloss black, and these pieces. So next we're going to be doing the truck. And if you want to learn exactly how to do this, I'm giving away a free guide on my site right now. The Learn Auto Body and Paint DIY guide. It's absolutely free. You're going to get an ebook version of this. Shows you step by step everything you need to know about auto body. Click down below, get this free guide, and I have a bunch of other free videos. So, you know, I'm going to show you the easy way on how to do auto body. It doesn't have to be complicated. It's very easy. Even if you've never picked up a spray gun before, you know, you could bang out amazing little things like this and just paint whatever you want to do. You want to paint your Xbox, your boat, your car, whatever you want to do, and you can be able to turn a beater into a gem. So this is the front bumper cover here. We got to put this back together. I am thinking of making this part black. But anyway, if you're interested in auto body, to do it yourself, to basically turn your own projects into something beautiful, do your neighbors, friends, family's cars and make some extra money, customize your cars, even if you're restoring a classic or putting a body kit on your car, whatever you want to do, click the guide, check this free information out. I think you're going to like it, and I have a special invitation for you to check out VIP as well. I think you're going to love it. Show you everything. And by the way, I painted this whole project with my Atom X20 spray gun, one of the cheaper models, but very, very great gun. Did the whole thing, sealer, base coat, clear coat with this spray gun here, and it came out amazing. Probably going to be shooting the sealer on the car in just a bit, and I'll show you what we do there. But that's pretty much it. So get the free guide here at LearnAutoBodyAndPaint.com. I think you're going to like it. There's a bunch of other videos as well, and I'll see you there. Learn Auto Body and Paint. Anyone can do it.